Hey, this is Brett the Hitman Hart, the best there is, best there was, and the best there ever will be. And you're listening to the Smacked Raw podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to The Rewind. It's that weekly wrestling show that we host over here, where we give you the thoughts of everything going on in and outside the ring. We are your hosts. My name's Kyle Tyson.
I am URN. Sometimes I'm muted, sometimes I'm not. We'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes. Shit, dude. Hey, you guys, let's lined up for you today is it's going to be the Royal Rumble fallout. There's a whole bunch of stuff coming out of the Royal Rumble, and of course, all the backstage happenings with like the Vince McMahon scandals and all of that stuff. So we're just going to kind of catch you up with what has gone down this last week, primarily in regards to WWE and the Royal Rumble, Vince McMahon stuff, and then the injuries and the turmoil that is essentially what WrestleMania is becoming. Like, WrestleMania seems so anticipated, but also so much like up in the air at the same time. Which is it's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting. But before we get into that, how you been, RN?
Good. Just working, kicking it. You know what I'm saying? Doing nothing. Enjoying this time off before football kicks back up.
Hell yeah.
What's up, family in the chat? What's up, Allison?
Yeah, man. Allison's in here. Oh god damn it. Why am I blanking right now on our friend's name too?
Oh, I forget his name too. I like the Ginger Ninja.
Yeah, I know, man. And it's they all just hung out for the Royal Rumble too. Allison,
Right.
I think, stayed at his house and everything. They're gonna correct me now. Fuck. Oh well. Anyways, hey you guys. It's Jax. Yeah, it's Jax.
It's in his fucking name.
Is Rex? Rex kept coming to mind, and I knew it wasn't Rex. So how all does that go, RN, when you're going into a new football season? Like, how do you assemble your team? Do people just sign up and they show up whenever you host, or
Yeah, they don't. It's a program. So like we have signups, and what we do is we move up with the boys as they move up in grades. So like my boys are fifth grade, they'll be sixth grade this year. This is their last year in the program. So but yeah, the season starts kicking off. We start ramping up with shit like around April or May. We do signups. Signups started now. July is kind of when everything kicks off. So like for real, like the training camps and shit we do and everything like that. And this year we're doing a little bit something different. The high school is actually becoming a better part of the program, and like we're gonna start running some of their stuff, dumbing it down, using their terminology, because this is supposed to be a feeder system for them. So we're gonna get these boys ready to go when they get in middle school, and so when they get ready in high school too. So I'm excited about that. Like I've been a proponent of that since I've been a part of this program, because there's one program in our area called Clinton Massey. Like they are a powerhouse in the country.
Yeah.
Every year, and like they start learning the high school's playbook, at least a small version of it, when they're in like third or fourth grade.
No joke. They start learning little bits here and there, and then it just naturally kind of progresses.
And the worst part is their Pee-wee program, like ours, fucking sucks. But by the time these dudes get into high school, they're in the state or state finals almost every year, like literally almost every year.
Okay.
I think they were ranked nationally like 7th or 8th this year too.
Damn. All right. Well, certainly does sound exciting. Speaking of Super Bowl, who you got? We got Kansas City and the San Francisco 49ers, right? This is just a rematch of 2020, ain't it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I got Kansas City just because all the people hating and shit, like for no reason. Like, my thing is like all these people like losing their mind about Taylor Swift, like Kansas City isn't like all the rigged shit, like they rigged it for Taylor Swift. Like, bro, first of all, the Super Bowl is the most watched show every year for the past like 30 years. Like nothing's even comes close to it. And Kansas City was just in the fucking Super Bowl and won last year. So it's not like they fucking like bent the rules to make sure they've been in the Super Bowl 5 of the last 6 years.
Yeah, they have been pretty much in that conversation now for Jesus, the better part of a decade at this point, as far as the Super Bowl goes.
Well, 6 years. This is past 6 years. So yeah. So like it's just crazy to me like how people just come up with shit like
Now,
randomly.
I've missed primarily this whole season. Like I've been able to tune into like a handful of games, but I work in retail. I work like every Sunday. I missed the majority of the games, and so what has been the Taylor Swift drama? I know that she's dating one of the players. Yeah, Travis
There's
Kelce.
no drama. They just like show her a couple times like in the box. Like there's no like.
Yeah.
She doesn't talk about it. She doesn't like. You know what I'm saying? Like she literally just shows up to watch her boyfriend play football. Like, but you know the fucking fake woke white people and shit. Like,
well, no, that's what I'm trying to.
I'm like, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
The best meme I saw was like, you guys, see all you guys bitching about Taylor Swift and this and this. I thought you guys stopped watching when Colin Kaepernick was taking a knee.
Yeah.
When'd you guys come back? Like, it's like
I saw that shit.
Yeah, it's like it makes no sense to me whatsoever. Because, like I said, if it was like an also ran team and not the Chiefs, maybe I would be like, all right, I can kind of see where people be pissed about. But these motherfuckers are there every year.
Do you think it's a case of? Do you think it's potentially the mixing of the fan bases? Like, what comes to mind for me is, remember when the Bellas and like Total Divas got popular and it started bringing in all these these new wrestling fans, which were a lot of them were like females and everything. And then there was like, and there still to this day is a huge clash of fans whenever you see people who genuinely enjoy like the Bellas and the Divas era, and then you have other wrestling fans who like trash them for founding something that they enjoy.
Like the tribalism, like my thing is like, who gives a fuck? Like, why do you care what someone else is watching or why they're watching?
Yeah,
be happy that if somebody that wasn't a part of it now is a part of it, because it puts it on a bigger platform and puts it in a better light. You know what I'm saying? Like I never understood the tribalism thing. Like, and I still don't like it. I argue with people all the time about AEW, and like I'm like, bro, you not see what my fucking profile picture is? It's literally me on Swerve's head, bro. Like you can like it both.
Yeah.
Like you can defend WWE and like AEW and vice versa. Like, and the same thing with NFL. It's like, bro, like, fuck off, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not. It literally makes no sense to me. Like, they literally show it once or twice during the game. They like they're spending like fucking 20-minute shots and like not filming the game while they're showing her. Like, it's like it's so meaningless. Like, it makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Yeah, Allison says there are not going to be any football fans at the game. It's all going to be Swifties. Do you think the NFL cares? Like,
no.
What's going to be is it's going to be people who buy the tickets.
The tickets are already sold for the most part. And what people don't understand about Super Bowl, 9 times out of 10, it's not real football fans anyway, because no one can fucking afford those prices. Like the Super Bowl is like WrestleMania. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's other shit. It's not just like the game is for us, but.
I think I just saw a post literally today. It said right now the cheapest Super Bowl ticket, I think it said it was like $1,400 or $1,600 or something like that, and it was like a nosebleed. Nosebleed seats.
That's what I'm saying. Like the Super Bowl is literally like WrestleMania. Like it's we watch it, we love it, we're there for it, but like the people that are there, none of us can fucking afford those fucking tickets. Like it's not a big deal to me that it's gonna be a bunch of Swifties there. Okay. I wasn't going anyway, so.
Oh man, so, I've been getting into some trouble lately, RN. Apparently, I was telling you before we went live how I had the cops inadvertently called on me today over like a misunderstanding. Although I guess it really wasn't a misunderstanding because I was technically trespassing, but the guy ended up being like really cool about it. He didn't care. Right. He just wanted to make sure I wasn't there to like steal any of his possessions or anything. And he ended up giving me the green light to come back to his property to take more pictures. But I went out to Raleigh on Sunday to do like some nighttime photography. And bro, I got like seriously harassed by like this big black African security guard who I swear to God had nothing to do that night. Cause so like mind you, this is how like whenever I'm in public shooting, I'm very much minding my own business, but I don't like make myself hidden. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm not popping my camera just at like every passerby. I think like most people, like if they see me shooting, like I try to get like some type of acknowledgement from them, like, hey, we're cool here. This day I wasn't like, I think I shot like 3 people, none of which complained. It was all from the protest and the like a couple police officers and stuff. But I was just walking around, and then I get right outside this like Market Square spot in Raleigh, and I'm standing there, right, and I'm listening to headphones, and I'm just trying to let inspiration come to me. Mm-hmm. Really, I'm actually trying not to piss myself. I had to go to the bathroom like so bad. But this dude, the security guard, walks up to me, right, and I'm like, okay, you know, he's not being like mean or anything. I see him, I was like, all right, I'll just explain to him. I'm just taking pictures, no big deal. So when he asks me, he's like, what are you doing? I was like, hey man, I just do photography. Trying to become a photographer. This dude, you like would have swore he caught me in some bullshit. He's like, oh, a photographer, huh? Like he just got like super aggravated. Like he got like super smart with me. I was like, yeah, dude, I literally broke it. I was like, I see things I think that are pretty, and I take pictures.
Where were you at?
I was just in Raleigh, like in public, like.
Yeah, like well, I mean, that's what I was gonna say. Like, bro, it's public property. You don't have to have like a permit or anything. Like, you can go in a building or something like that. Like, I would have told him to suck my balls.
Well, so I'm trying to de-escalate, because at the same time, I've also got a backpack on this tripod, and I have the camera. I was like, I don't need this guy trying to get rough with me at any point and breaking my shit, right? So I do try to de-escalate it, and I was just like, yeah, I didn't even like apologize because I didn't realize like he was being aggravated, because in my brain I'm not doing anything offensive, so this guy, it didn't logically make sense for him to be on the offense. But then I picked up on it because he goes, just so you know, there is a drone in the air, and that's how I saw you. And at that point I was like, okay, fuck this guy, right? So I said, there's a drone in the air, and he's like, yeah. And I was like, what'd you see me doing? And he goes, oh, I cannot tell you for security reasons. I said, no, you don't have to tell me like what you see. I was like, me, what did you see me doing? And he goes, never mind, sir. You have a good day, right? You have a good day. And I was like, all right, cool. Like I'm go on. I go on about my business. There's this bar, and it looks really nice. The lighting's great. So I set up shop to take a couple pictures of the bar. Not like people, just the bar itself. Out of nowhere, this dude comes up to me, and he's like, I already told you once, so this is the second time I'm telling you, you have to leave now. And I was like, leave? I was like, bro, I genuinely was confused. I was like, am I on private property? Not even being a smartass. Like, I was like, did I not realize, like, this is private property? And he's like, yeah, this is private property. It's after hours. The businesses are closed. And I was like, dude, the businesses are not closed. There's like 3 bars on this corner alone that are open. People walking around. And he tries to fight me with it. He's like, you are not a customer. And I was like, okay, look. I said, man, I'm okay. I'm not hurting nobody. I'm not going anywhere. And he goes, I'm gonna call the police. And I said, look, do what you got to do. I was like, because you're not telling me what I'm doing wrong. You're just telling me that I need to leave. Like you're not making any sense. And I'm asking you to explain to me like what I've done here, and you're not. So he he walks off. I'm assuming he pretends to call the cops because they never fucking came. Right. I think maybe he thought like I was like a 16-year-old skateboarder or something, because like he thought I was gonna run off on him or something. Like, and then he comes back to me and he's like, man, you have to stand over there. Do not stand here no more. Stand over there. And I'm looking at the guy, and I realized, I was like, okay, he can't do shit. So like I'm looking him square in the eye, and I just take my headphones out and I just put my headphones in. And I just went back to shooting. And then he fucked off. He just made sure that he stood like 50 feet from me at all times, but he never gotten any of the pictures. So
me and Adam learned that long time ago, like guerrilla shit. Like nobody can do anything. Like unless you're like literally in a business and they like, we want you to leave. Other than that, we can shoot and do whatever the fuck we want. Like,
yeah, it was so. I was like, dude, I tried to like play devil's advocate. I was like, okay, well, I'm tall, I'm fat, and I'm like white, and also there's like a lot of like aggro homeless people around. So maybe I was like, maybe I come across as like a pest, or maybe this guy thinks like I'm doing something perverse. But I was like, in my mind, I was like, it. You know me, and like most people do, you only need to talk to me for like fucking 30 seconds, and you're like, all right, this guy, he's not a weirdo. Like he's just like that's what I would hope. I would hope that comes across when you talk to me. But yeah, so yeah, like 2 out of 3 days, I've had some form of authority have a problem with me taking pictures, man.
You'll get over it. Like I said, like you said, the best thing you did was like, yeah, all right, cool. Put your headphones on, go back to doing what you're doing. Like,
yeah, it's all good. Let's talk about some wrestling.
Like,
Royal Rumble happened Saturday, right? Yeah, Saturday. We saw Bayley win the Women's Rumble. Arguably, I don't even think arguably. I think it's pretty clear. The best Women's Rumble to date, right?
yeah, by far.
By far. Yeah, that Women's Rumble was fantastic. Allison says, you are a weirdo, just a nice one. I was like, the weirdo side, though, stays well hidden, Allison, in that 30 seconds. That 30 seconds, I'm still normal. But, yeah, Bayley won the best Women's Rumble to date. The thing was so fun. You know what also I think is happening our end? I think people are coming around to Nia Jax. I think people are starting to appreciate like what Nia has to offer to WWE, even though she botched like every fucking move in that Rumble.
I mean, it is what it is. Like, she's a monster heel. Like, she ain't supposed to be fucking a technical whiz anyway. So, like, throw some bitches around, make some noise, keep it moving. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you know what it reminded me of? The Brock Lesnar spot in the 2020 Rumble, where he came out, he was destructive. He got the crowd riled up. The crowd got nice and sick of him because he was being so dominant for almost half the Rumble. And then the moment Drew McIntyre was able to eliminate him, it was like a euphoria. Yeah, place went nuts. And the same thing happened in this Rumble with Nia Jax. Like, she had a lot of dominant spots. They had this fantastically. I don't know about like I haven't gauged the temperature on how everyone else felt about it, but the Piper Niven, Chelsea Green, Nia Jax stuff was chef's kiss. I loved every second of that.
She just beat her ass with Piper Niven for about 5 minutes.
Like in Chelsea Green was just like inadvertently sandwiched on like 8 different damn
body
spots.
slammed her on top of her, all types of shit. Like, it was everything about the Rumble was perfectly done. It was comedy, it was violence, it was surprising. Like, my favorite part personally was Jordan Grace.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen her wrestle a few times. I just seen her at TNA's pay-per-view they did here in Columbus over the summer. Like, she's so fucking dope. Like, that was so. I wish Jonathan Gresham had been there too. You know what I'm saying? Because he's one of my favorite wrestlers. But like, people need to know about Jordan Grace. Like, she is fucking top notch. Like, top notch.
I was wondering, watching her out there, like, what's the big spot they're gonna give her? Like, they have to give her something. Yeah. Huge, but at the same time, they're not going to want her to like outshine all the WWE talent, and they did it great. They gave her a bunch of cool spots, like with Jade Cargill that came out, and Ivy Nile. But by far, like, the shining spot was her taking a move, taking that KOD on the ring apron, dropped my jaw. I was like, holy moly, because I thought that. Oddly enough, I thought that gave more of a shine to Jordan Grace.
It did,
in a way, than it did
to me too.
Belair.
Like, as strong as we think Bianca and all these girls are, we got to see a woman with real fucking strength. And she's only like 5'6". Like, it ain't like she's huge. Like, you saw how she was tossing them girls around. Even the spot with Ivy Nile, like, Ivy Nile struggled a little bit. Jordan Grace had the bitch up, had one arm. You know what I'm saying? Did the pose while Ivy's still trying to like catch her balance. Like, she got the bitch up literally one hand and stuck one hand out when she let her down. Like, she is fucking dope. Like, she's actually who Naomi dropped the belt to before like her last match or whatever. So,
and that was another huge thing in the Rumble was Naomi coming in at entrant number 2. She got choked up. Home state, Florida. Super welcoming to Naomi. I myself, once again, I was ecstatic to see her. It was the most excited I've been to see Naomi, and she played her role in the Rumble great too. Like she had her highlights, but they didn't try to they didn't try to put the spotlight on her too much. Like it was just the booking of that Rumble. I cannot say it enough. Was just done masterfully. Like that is going to be a difficult Rumble to top by anybody, not just the women. Like by the men. Like that Rumble was so well put together. It's a masterclass of how you book.
Yeah, the surprises, the debuts, R-Truth's dumbass. Like it was, it had everything you wanted. Like it's like the way that they booked the women. Like I think it's because they're like, I don't want to say they think people don't care, but I think they're a little bit more carefree with how they book the women in general and how they book the Rumbles and things like that, and any of the gimmick matches. I think that they kind of have, it looks to me like they have a little bit more freedom. And so the things get to like bubble up organically, and it's not so much, well, we got to get this guy in, we got to do this. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, we know where we're going. Let's just fucking get there. You know what I'm saying? Like it feels a lot more organic and a lot more free-flowing than the men's match does.
Yeah. No, the men's match felt very much like a I don't know how to explain it. Like kind of lackluster in the beginning. Yeah. It picked up for the second half. But there was no like jaw-dropping huge moment, I think, in the men's Rumble. But we'll get to that here in a second. The other, I think the last big thing about the Rumble was, of course, we saw the debut of Jade Cargill, and she looked like $1,000,000. She came down to the final 3, I think it was. Yep, and
3 or 4, can't remember. Yeah, it was a 3 because it was her, Liv, and Bayley.
Yeah, her, Liv, and Bayley, and her and Liv got eliminated at the same time by Bayley.
Right.
Yeah. Once again, looked like $1,000,000. We already knew this about Jade.
Right.
She came out. They gave her the spot to eliminate Nia Jax. I love how they built a mini story with Nia Jax. Multiple women tried to lift Nia and suplex her. None were able to. And then when Jade came in, not only was she able to do it, but she did it with ease. Like it was nothing to her. And
that was the only thing I didn't like, though, because Jordan Grace could definitely pick Nia's big ass up, because I've seen her pick. She fights men.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I know she could have picked Nia up and literally walked her probably better than Jay did, if I'm being 100% honest. Like, she probably could have picked her up in the middle of the ring and walked her to the edge. Like, that was the only thing, like, I hated that they didn't give Jordan a little bit of shine on it. I wish they just, like, not had her do it at all. But, like you said, they can't have her – they can't put too much shine on her because she's not one of theirs. But, like, that would probably be my only critique is, like, don't do that. Because, I mean, you just saw how she manhandled every fucking woman in the Rumble. Bianca and Belair included, like, and then Nia comes in and she can't pick her up, like, you know what I'm saying? If you know Jordan Grace, you know the bitch is a bodybuilder. Like, she used to have a mom bod. Like, she didn't used to be like buff like that. Like, her. I was
gonna say that even for those who didn't watch her in TNA, my experience with Jordan Grace was while I was on Twitter for several years. She posted like her body transformation. She got almost as dramatic a body transformation as Gunther in WWE.
Yeah.
Like it's
because she wasn't fat, but she was just a heavier girl. Like, and she always had muscles and stuff. But like, they both, like, you can check on their Instagram. They went through this like thing where they like cut down. Like, he's got like an 8-pack, she's got an 8-pack. Like, it's like it's crazy how much muscle they've. How, like you said, their body transformation is crazy. Like I said, she definitely would have been able to pick Nia's big ass up and walk her and dump her, like, for sure, like, no doubt about it.
Yeah. But that spot went to Jade, and that was her big moment. She had a couple stare-offs with a lot of the women, too, in the ring to set up potential feuds down the road.
Her and Becky's the one I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah, not gonna lie, man. I know how you feel about the obvious. Just because they look the same doesn't mean, but
no, I don't feel that way about them. I don't feel that way
about her and Bianca, man.
I don't feel that way about them. To me, and I tweeted this. I think I either tweeted or I posted on one of my Facebook, like, that has the potential to be Rock Austin for the women.
Yeah, because I feel like I do feel like they from a personality standpoint, they're very dynamically different than each other.
but the same at the same time. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, they have enough of same, but enough different to where you could see where that's going to be fucking magic whenever it gets there.
Yeah, yeah, no, I can only imagine. That is a Wrestlemania match.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just don't want them to be on the same show because I feel like it's redundant almost unless you run Jade specifically as a heel, which I don't think you're ever going to be able to do. Because even if she's a heel, people are going to still fucking cheer for her regardless because of just her presence in the ring. Like, I want one on Raw and one on SmackDown, both dominating. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I think she's Raw bound. I think she's bound for Raw.
You have, especially if not as initially, like when they switch to Netflix for sure.
Yeah, because like they've got Bayley mixed up with Damage Control and all this other stuff. Like Jade, I don't think would really have anything to do because Jade needs something to do around the main picture, like the main title scene.
Right.
And that main title scene is going to be locked up on SmackDown for a minute now. Plus, you have Nia mixing it up with Rhea Ripley, and Jade obviously is the one who eliminated Nia. So I'm pretty sure that Jade's going to Raw for the time being, and they're just going to sit on that Bianca Jade match,
Right?
Because those two, arguably, as long if everything plays out well, arguably are like the future of the women's division.
Yeah, like to me, like it's got Rock, and if they play it right and handle it right, to me, it's got Rock Austin potential, like legit.
Hell yeah. Yep, and then lastly, caps off. Bayley is your winner. She of course eliminated Liv and Jade Cargill at the end of the Royal Rumble. It was a fun ending. It really wasn't much to critique as far as that went. It was good. The story, of course, coming out is Bayley has been telling her Damage Control members that she's going to challenge Rhea Ripley so that they can hold all the gold. But it's clearly set up that Bayley's going to be going after EO,
right?
And we're going to see some drama there, and it should be a ton of fun.
Yeah, I mean, she needed that because I didn't know that she's never won a Rumble before.
Yeah. No, I mean, if it wasn't this year, I don't think it was going to happen.
Right.
I think Bayley is not like in like. I think it's not so much speaking that Bayley's time is running out, is that there's so much more talent rising up.
Exactly.
That are gonna benefit more from the shine of that Rumble than Bayley would say another year or two down in the future.
Right, because I mean, Io's eventually gonna have to win one. Bianca's gonna have to win. Well, Bianca won one.
Bianca already won one. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So like, somebody's gonna have to be a 2-time winner. You know what I'm saying? Like that's got to happen eventually. So you got Bianca, Becky, all these women that are wrapped up and a little bit higher up than what Bayley is. But I'm not mad at it. Like we saw it coming. We called it. I mean, it is what it is. But like you needed to do it to kind of eliminate all this stuff because it's so murky over on Raw side and what's going to be the match for WrestleMania. So like, I'm not mad at it all. Just get it out the way, set it up. So that's one less thing they got to push or worry about.
Yeah, man. Next up, from there, the Royal Rumble didn't necessarily go downhill. They just could not recapture that peak that the Women's Rumble did, and not to mention, I think the crowd also wasn't really like the best crowd. They were fairly quiet. It's like they needed something absolutely game changing to get them out of their seats instead of like. Maybe like those early AEW crowds that were riled up just to fucking be there. You know,
that's why like, especially since the men's didn't have any real surprise or anything crazy, I thought it should have went first. I don't think it should have been the end because I think that crowd would have been a lot different if the women were last and all the shit we had going on in the women's match. Like it was a great way to turn up and get the night going. But like you said, being at the men's was, I don't want to say basic, but I mean, it was just like a normal Rumble.
Yeah,
I definitely feel like the women should have, if they knew what they were going to do like that and it was playing like that, they should have had that last.
It's another case of like, which do you value more? Do you value the higher rated match or the higher rated like stars? Because Cody and CM Punk are let's face it, they're bigger stars than Bayley. Yeah. But it just WWE valued those guys closing out the show over. The match itself, that was more fun closing out the show.
And I think it was more so also too just a reward for Cody because I mean he's been carrying Raw on and off, on in the ring and out and everywhere else like this whole year. So it's like I'm not mad at him getting his time to shine, even though he just did it last year. But like I'm not mad at them throwing him that bone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Especially with what came out today about or what came out the last couple of days of CM Punk too.
Right.
Lucked out there. But we had the Fatal 4-Way, LA Knight, AJ Styles, and Randy Orton and Roman Reigns for the undisputed Universal Championship. Fucking, I was like, hey man, you know what? With this Fatal 4-Way, at least we won't get one of those slow plotting, overbooked Roman matches because of all the chaos that'll come with the Fatal 4-Way. And somehow we still got a slow plotting Roman Reigns
I think a lot of
trash
it too
talking match.
I think a lot of it too was the time. You know what I'm saying? Like they had to burn some time, being that it was only 2 matches in between the Rumbles.
I don't even think that, man. I just think that at this point, this is going to sound a bit harsh, but at this point, everybody has settled with what a Roman Reigns match is.
Right.
Not saying that Roman himself isn't capable of doing a more exciting match, or WWE isn't capable of booking a more exciting match. I think just everybody has settled. Like, this is good enough. Like,
well,
you know,
I'm gonna push back on that because my thing was like, yes, we know what a Roman Reigns one-on-one was, but my thing was like the three of the 4 dudes in there are not like fast-paced go match type of guys. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't think that they had the right participants in it to be like a faster pace, like, you know what I'm saying, like balls to the wall. You know what I'm saying? Like, LA Knight's not that type of wrestler. Randy definitely isn't. He's slow and plodding, just like Roman is.
Arguably more than Roman.
Arguably more than Roman. And then AJ, like, if he doesn't have anybody he can go at it with, like, how are you gonna get it? You know what I'm saying? Like, so like, I agree with what you're saying about Roman, but I don't agree with it about this match because of who the participants were. You know what I'm saying?
So you think this match just didn't have the potential in general, regardless?
Not necessarily the potential.
Even if they were being ambitious.
Yeah, like I just don't think that the performance, like the one with Edge and Daniel Bryan, we kind of got that because of the type of wrestlers those two are. You know what I'm saying? Like, and their styles clash. Like, everybody besides fucking AJ had the same style in this match. So it was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think they could have got that type of Fatal 4-Way with the participants that were in it.
You know what? I kind of agree with you. Yeah, logic would dictate. Yeah, looking at the stars in there.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have like diving elbows from the top rope to through the table and
or chain wrestling or any type of like crazy like go at it spots. You know what I'm saying? Like if it was 1-on-1 with any of them, you probably could have like squeezed something or made something out. But like with the three out of the 4 guys being like slow plodding ground based power guys, and then just AJ Styles, like it was like. How many AJ Styles would have to take? How many moves would AJ Styles gonna take from all 3 of those fucking guys? You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's true.
He ain't lifting nobody up. You know what I'm saying?
No,
and they're all pretty much the same size, so none of them are really like doing any like wild fucking moves to each other because they're all fucking 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", 230, 240. So it's like that type of match was never gonna be a thing with the participants.
I wonder if the contempt that we've seen in the Roman Reigns matches is by design also. You would maybe like here's a weird fucking conspiracy theory is like maybe they want Roman's matches also to be boring and difficult just to get us more riled up for the reign to finally end.
Absolutely. That's not you're not saying anything that's
they
crazy.
Want us
like,
to complain about these matches.
And not even that. Then you got Seth who's fucking going balls to wall every week on Raw and shit and everything like that. Like that was the whole purpose of this, them splitting up and having 2 titles. Like I'm perfectly fine with it. Like I get it. Because you get what you want. You get that old school only defend the belt once every 3 months type shit with Roman, and then you got your Intercontinental, technically your workhorse guy that's on there defending or at least wrestling every fucking week. Like, no, you're completely spot on that. That's what they want us to have, that dichotomy of each champion and who they are in the ring. And like you said, and they don't want Roman to be fucking face. And like, would you give us that type of shit and give us a reason to cheer him? if you give us a reason to cheer him, then the people are chomping at the bit to fucking cheer for him now. You know what I'm saying? So like, you got to figure out a way to. I think that's why the interference is so heavy, so we can bitch about it and talk about it, and like stopping and talking shit to the crowd and all that, like purposefully dragging down the match. Like I think all of that is by design. I don't think that's just like something that just happens. It happens every time Roman wrestles. Because if that would be the case, it wouldn't happen every time Roman fucking wrestles. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's by design for sure.
Do you think now this is where my memory is getting me? Is that kind of what it was like during Triple H's reigns as champion? Like his matches were never like, although he did have some like crazy matches with Cactus Jack though.
And the difference was Triple H could actually wrestle before he blew up. He was actually a really good wrestler. So like it was kind of the same, but not at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I know that's what it is, because that's Hunter's thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like a heel champion talking shit. Fuck you guys. I'm the man. Like we're doing this on my time type of shit. Like, but then in the middle, he'd have like a chain wrestling, like fucking little thing going back and forth. I think he knows where the lines are at for who they are. And that's the part I think I like about him the most, and how he scouts talent, how he looks at talent. He looks at it from every fucking angle, not just about the money part. He looks at it long term, and he looks at it like, what do we have to do to get to this point? If we have to, can we pivot here? Can we pivot there? Or should we stay the course? Like he always leaves wiggle room with everybody.
Yeah. No, it's so. I mean, I feel like this is a long way to say that Roman matches tend to be boring now.
Yeah, no, that's that. And like I said, I think that is fully by design.
Yeah. The only other match on the night that wasn't one of the Rumble matches was, of course, the Kevin Owens and Logan Paul United States Championship match. Odd that this match followed the Universal title match. That was pretty neat to me. But this match was a good match. Logan Paul is at this point we're all a broken record. That Logan Paul is just oddly built to be a professional wrestler.
He snatched that shit from Bad Bunny that fast, bro.
Dude, he is buttery smooth in the ring. Like
makes no sense. No sense.
You think he grew up in a wrestling ring? Like the guy is just.
He's going to be a world champion. He's going to be a world champion.
And dude, I know it's been said before. It's not like we're saying the first thing again. His buckshot lariat. Adam Page should just stop doing it. Should just stop doing it. Yeah, it is stupid good how he can slingshot himself and actually make it look like that front flip contributes to the momentum. Yes. Whereas Adam Page's, although it's still a cool move, Adam Page's looks just like a little bit flashy.
He does a flip, stops, and then fucking clotheslines him. Like
you know what it is Logan Paul's looks like if he was just a half inch higher off of the mat, he'd end up doing like a 450 splash. Yeah. Like his momentum is rolling over.
Well, not even that. He's bigger and heavier too. That's the thing that.
It's nuts, man.
That's the thing that fucking like trips me out about him. Was like he is a big ass dude. Like he's not like, you know what I'm saying, like fucking Dominic size or something like. He is a big fucking dude. Like he was taller and looked bigger than Kevin Owens. And Kevin Owens is fucking dad bod like us. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Like he looked like a bigger guy, but was moving like you said, like a smooth ass fucking cruiser. Like nothing looked unsafe. Nothing looked like amateur wise. Like he, like you said, he looked like this was what he was born to do, and maybe it was. I mean, he's even said that he's going to start taking this a lot more serious than he has. That's the crazy
scary
part.
Thing, man.
That's a fucking. Well, I guess he moved to Orlando, and he's been training there for like the past 2 or 3 months.
We're gonna get 6-star matches with Logan Paul in WWE. Meltzer is gonna give that dude a 6-star match someday.
Oh, he's gonna get it. Like he's gonna be a world champion too. If he sticks around or like really like, not. I mean, more than he has. Because he's been around these last few months and shit since he's wanted. But like, even if he's there half a year, he's gonna win a fucking world title.
The only hole in his game that I see is that he's bigger than pro wrestling. Like that's it. Is just the guy is bigger than the job. Like
I don't mind that because The Rock was too when he came back that second time.
Yeah. But that's why that's what I mean is like that's the only thing that holds him back. is he's got other things that keep him occupied than being a full-time pro wrestler.
I'm gonna push back on you again. You know who defines that too?
Who's that?
Pat McAfee.
Pat is not on the same. He's not in the same conversation.
No, he's
as
not.
Logan Paul, man.
Not really, but what I'm saying, he's just as many people know him. He's on the biggest sports network in the world 6 months out of the year, and then comes back like nothing ever changed.
He's a commentator, though. Look, Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee in the ring looks like a guy that learned just enough.
No, I'm not talking about that part. I was talking about the part you said he's bigger than the job.
And that's why I say that's the only thing that holds him back, I think, as getting more out of this. That's all.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't necessarily agree with that yet because Pat comes back. His first gig back is the fucking Royal Rumble and kicks out Corey Graves and them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the part I'm saying. Like, he's bigger than the job, too. There's no fucking reason for Pat McAfee to be commentating on fucking SmackDown.
When I heard that, he's commentating full time between now and the Rumble too. That blew my mind. I was like, how he's got time for that shit? Like,
well, yeah, they split his contract up so he can do it so he can commentate and do college football during the season. Then when the season's over, he comes back. Probably next summer he'll be gone again next summer until fucking football's over. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I was saying. Like, how that matches up. Like, he's definitely bigger than wrestling, bro.
Yeah. Oh no. You're right. It's cool though. It's cool that you're seeing people in the mainstream now that are now entering the pro wrestling field, not because they see it as solely as a cross promotional opportunity, but that there are successful people out there who are just legitimate fans of pro wrestling.
Yeah, it's cool to be a fan now. You know what I'm saying? Like, and exactly. I like that. Like I said, I'm not on that gatekeeper shit. Like, the more famous people we have loving wrestling, the better wrestling is going to be for us. Like, and I don't think people like.
We might actually start getting like wrestling fans that are enjoyable to be around too.
Exactly, not stinky fuckers in their parents' basement.
Yeah, listen, I'm a lifelong wrestling fan, but the thing I hate the most about pro wrestling are its fans.
You should. The next show we go to, I'm gonna show you some videos of the crowds that be at this. And actually, we're going to one on March 9th. It's actually I forgot what it's called. I'll look it up. But it's Kurt Angle's gonna be there, Matt Riddle, a couple other big name guys, and it's a big ass show that they have a guy that used to wrestle throws it every year, but. Wait, I'll shoot you some video of these fucking people at these.
It ain't Josh Barnett's like Bloodsport, is it?
No, it's not. It's not that. Here, let me look it up. I got it right here. Hold up.
No, you're good. While you look it up, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna grab the rest of my coffee.
All right.
Brewed this cup earlier before I played toss with Gavin. I've been meaning to drink it ever since.
I'll send it to you on Twitter if you want to pop it in.
Oh yeah, I got you right here. Bang.
What's up, Timmy?
Tim. Nah, he just leans into it now.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah, he just leans into it now. Let's see. Here's the photo. Here we go. What we got here? It says the reunion. Oh, look at all these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
This actually looks pretty dope. Let's see who we got. We got Sandman. You got Sabu. Sabu. Jesus Christ. RVD. Ultimo Dragon. My goodness. Dude, aren't half these people like not alive? What the fuck? Shark Boy's there. Look at that. Honky Tonk Man. No shit.
Yeah, me, Adam, and my buddy James, who's like literally a lifelong fan. He's like
Coco Beware. What the fuck?
I think so. He's like the fucking 40-year-old virgin, my guy that I go all the shows with.
Yeah.
But he's got a wife and like his pussy, you know what I'm saying? But he's got he's literally got a room in his house that's just his figures.
It's just his figures.
Just his figures.
Yeah. Hell, I got a room that is just my PlayStation and computer and wrestling posters. So
Yeah, you didn't hear what I said. It's literally top. It's literally floor to ceiling containers with his wrestling figures and like comic figures and like literally just figures in one room.
oh, okay. You mean literally like a storage room, not
Like
like
literally,
this is where I hang out and my figures are just all over the place.
right? We literally like he'll probably get like 10 figures signed when we go there in March.
Yeah. Who else does that? I think our friend Justin, who I don't know if he's officially on Perched on the Top Rope or he's just featured a lot, but that's how we know him is from Perched on the Top Rope. And yeah, I think Justin and of course Lee, they're huge with the figures and stuff. Lee does unboxings with that stuff, man. Yeah. Actually, on a side note, I had a really good conversation with Lee the other day. I went and did his show on Thursday last week, and then it was definitely so the show suffered from having 3 people, like it was me and 2 other guests, and none of us knew each other, right? Did you catch that? I saw the ear fell.
No, I didn't. I was gonna say, what'd you say?
Lee had myself and 2 other people on the show, and none of us knew each other. So there was this weird case of over politeness, and everybody kind of didn't know each other's boundaries. Like, and it was still ended up being a fun show, and the guys were nice, but there was like this awkwardness where nobody wanted to take like lead. Like Lee just kind of had to like narrate the whole show, and it was kind of weird. It was still a fun show. Like I digress. I'm trying to. Sounds like I'm complaining too much. Either way, when the show ended and then the guys left, me and Lee were like, "Oh man, it was kind of weird, wasn't it?" We just fucking, and then we just riffed for like an hour. It was a fun time talking to him. I was helping him like design his studio. I was like giving him tips. Yeah. But back to the Royal Rumble, the men's Rumble. This one, Aaron, help me out here. There's really not much to it other than the second half. Once you had Gunther, Cody, Braun Breaker, CM Punk. There wasn't much else to it. Of course, the news. If you guys live under a rock, I'm sure if you're watching this show, you're well knowledge in pro wrestling beyond us. But catch you up. Vince got caught doing some nasty shit. Like there was always the rumors of like what was going on, but now it's like the details are laid out there. If you want to know like beat for beat, this person's account of what they had going on with to put it in its most simplistic form, like Vince like pimped this chick out for a couple years. And all that shit came to light. Like she told everything in grave, disgusting, horrible detail. But as a result of that, Brock Lesnar was implied in some of that shit. And so he was not in the Royal Rumble, and Braun Breaker got all of his spots, man. What did you think of that?
I wasn't mad at it.
Braun came, I mean, dude, beat for beat. Apparently Dominic Mysterio, who eliminated Braun Breaker, was due to be the guy that would eliminate Brock Lesnar. Could you imagine?
That would have been so dope.
Do you think that would have rivaled that moment? Although I don't think it'd be as bad, but I feel like it's the closest thing we have seen since then. The moment Maven eliminated The Undertaker from the Royal Rumble.
It would have been 10 times better because Maven wasn't shit even then. Like,
yeah, but I mean, there was that just ultimate shock. You were like,
oh yeah,
that guy was not supposed to be able to eliminate that guy. Like, invoke that kind of feeling.
Well, yes and no, because everybody's like on the Dom train now. So maybe not as shocking, but it definitely would have been a shocking elimination for sure.
Dude, my kids fucking love Dominic Mysterio.
I love Dom. I've been on the Dom train since
we both have.
Yeah,
we've
been on
it,
the
man.
Dom train from the beginning. So
we called it, man. When he was a babyface and everyone was getting sick of him, we were like, look, it's gonna click. Like one day it's gonna click. God damn. Yeah, he's got a hell of a look now too. By the way, it's
Yeah, I don't think he should ever be a babyface again. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not his dad. Like so, don't force that on him. Like if it happens organically, I agree. But like I think he's just much better as a heel.
Yeah, I mean he's dude. How many other kids grew up like this is me not knowing shit and correct me once I get the brand wrong, but like wearing like Versace and like Gucci and all that shit, right?
Right.
Isn't that what he was wearing? I know Ray's like super stylish too, but
their whole family was when they was coming out with the Buddy Lee shit or whatever, Buddy Murphy shit. Like they were all Gucci down, head to toe. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but yeah. So Braun got a lot of big spots. Now, according to and we're going to kind of cover a little bit once we wrap up with the Royal Rumble, but there's been so many ripples from the drama and the Vince McMahon allegations before the Rumble, and then injuries that took place, that there's a lot of potential changes that are going on currently that are getting us to WrestleMania, including potentially Cody Rhodes may not be finishing his story yet again. But before we dive into that more specifically, this match really was the story of two men. It was CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. The WWE really hyped up Cody Rhodes being potentially back-to-back Royal Rumble winner, the only one in like the last like 20-something years.
Yep.
It did come down to the two guys. They had this nice little like 7-minute mini match in the end, where CM Punk really telegraphed he wasn't winning. He was turning heel. I knew at the moment he said, I didn't wait 10 years to lose to Dusty's boy. We were like, yeah, yeah, he did. But yeah, he did. Cody ended up winning, and I haven't really seen anyone complain about it.
No, it's what needed to happen. Like we knew that was going to happen, and I like that he called Roman out immediately after the match.
Implied that he called out Roman because he pointed at him, but so the fallout of all of this has potentially a big ripple effect, right? So the first thing that we were aware of before anything was the Brock Lesnar situation. It seemingly TKO and the Ari Emanuel, who runs Endeavor, is looking to go scorched earth in WWE and get rid of anybody that may even have the smallest of ties to Vince McMahon. And if you guys are not aware, he has done this in the past without hesitation. He pulled a deal that they had with Saudi Arabia. I think it was like a $400 million deal with Saudi Arabia whenever they had the drama with the murder of Jamal Khashoggi. I probably butchered that name, but back when that all happened, when everybody was complaining about WWE should back out and WWE refused to because of like obvious money, Ari Emanuel did. He actually did say, no, fuck that, I'm out. I'm not going to be associated with this shit. So this guy has done it before, and one of the people that it looks like that's probably going to happen with is going to be Brock Lesnar. So. Brock Lesnar, who was due to return in the Rumble, did not. He was due to supposedly have a match with Dominic at Elimination Chamber and then have a world title match, or not a world title match, an Intercontinental title match with Gunther at Mania. What a fucking match, by the way, RN.
Right.
For WrestleMania. God damn, Brock Lesnar and Gunther. Jesus Christ. Well, that spot's probably going to Braun Breaker at this point. Which, if that is the case, RN, how do you feel about that?
I'm not mad at it. And like I said, even with this, like I told y'all this was going to happen. When all this Vince shit and the sale and all that, I told y'all that they were going to get rid of him and clean house of anything that was attached to him. I said this. Everybody said, no, Vince is back. He's still there, blah, 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 blah. And I said, when all this shit, there's a reason why they stashed him away from the beginning, because they weren't sure, or they had an idea that some more shit was going to come out and they were just waiting to see. And it happened just like I said it was going to happen. He's gone, and anybody, I think fucking, what's his name? I can't even think of something. Pritchard, all those motherfuckers. All those people are going to end up gone when it's all said and done.
I think so too as well. By the way, with the allegations that came out, talk about strategic timing. And if it's a coincidence, it's one hell of a coincidence, right? But in the span of a week, you had The Rock become a board member of TKO, and then the allegations came out. Literally, I think like what was like 48 hours.
Yeah, it was
till Royal Rumble.
Wednesday or Thursday, because it was like, yeah, it came out Thursday. It came out Wednesday or Thursday. Then Slim Jim threatened to pull out or did pull out, and then Vince resigned. Yeah,
and then Vince resigned, and then So the allegations, by the way, I believe that was pure strategy. I believe like what that was is that woman knew, like if she did it on when she did, that the Royal Rumble being like one of the biggest events in WWE all year long, all those
I don't think
eyes
it was that woman. I think it was TKO.
TKO. You think it was TKO like reaching out to her, like, hey.
I knew this was going to happen. You can't have a $7 billion company and then have the number 2 or number 3 guy in the company have this much baggage along with you.
Yeah.
Because his position was that Triple H and Dana reported directly to him.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy, man.
I knew this was going to happen. I saw this coming. I knew it was going to happen. Like they knew it. They wanted to get their hands on WWE. They knew what they had to do it. Vince came back to get it done, which I'm sure they probably had a hand into as well. Like, hey, if you want to get this done, you need to find a way to get your ass back in so we can figure this out. They got all his stuff, all his business dealings and projects and shit, Saudi Arabia, all that. They got in with those people, figured all these things out. Then remember they stashed him away after all that shit with Seth, him showing up to the show, fucking up the shows and pissing everybody off. And then they had a meeting saying we don't want him back.
Yeah,
that was when I knew he was going to be gone for sure. When everyone there said they didn't want him, and then there had been rumblings about this, more things coming from the beginning. Like these allegations weren't the end of it. There were some more because remember they said what they find like 5 or 6 women, five or six hush money things or whatever that were tucked away.
Yeah. So what it was is the initial one was there wasn't like the vulgar details like you have with what's out there now. But it was that there was acknowledgement there was existing NDAs, and then the wrongdoings was the use of the company money.
Money. My thing is like you don't make this purchase or have these connections and things and not know what's coming down the road. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can't wait for like the whole saga of this to be told in like an A&E documentary because.
I thought he had one coming out on Netflix. That's probably trash now.
But no, just the business side of all of this, how it went down, because it's almost like it's literally almost like how I'm interpreting it is Vince clearly seemed like he felt like he was untouchable.
Yeah.
And I feel like the way that they set up the deal where he from when he initially left to when he came back and he was like, hey, I'm not going to let you guys sell the company because of the stocks that he held. He had that power to prevent any sale of the company. And so he says, I'm not going to let you sell this company unless I'm back in power and stuff. And then he hunts down the buyer that is willing to sign this agreement where he can stay in power until literally he's dead. Like it's written in the contract. Yeah. He could not be removed from the company, cannot be fired. So, and it's almost like, on one hand, in the way I interpret this, is Vince felt like a genius and felt untouchable. Like that is it. But on the other hand, Ari Emanuel, while Vince was playing checkers, Ari was playing chess.
That's what I'm saying. I agree. Totally with what you're saying, because if you look, he didn't get fired. He resigned.
Yep, he resigned. He resigned, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I knew all of this was coming. I knew Vince was going to get bled out of this eventually. I didn't think it'd be this soon after everything, but like I said it on our show. Like Vince is done. Like once this deal was done, I was like, he's done. He's gone. Everybody was like, no, he's back in charge. I'm like, yeah, for now, give it a little bit of time. Like you can't have this much shit ducked away and then not come back out the light and then bite TKO in the ass and drop their stock price and drop off because of one dude that you don't even really need anymore because he groomed Hunter to take over and he's doing it better and people like him more and he has no fucking scandals and he's still attached to the family and the business. He really signed his own fucking death warrant with Triple H. Like,
yeah, it's. I can't wait for this to all be, like I said, once again, for there to be like a really high quality documentary of this entire saga.
Because you have to know they had TKO knew about this. Like, you cannot tell, and like you said,
you can't have that much money and not have the right, like, be able to have the means to get that information and figure out exactly what's going on. It's not like those guys were like, oh, you're in the wrestling business, you're kind of famous, okay. Like, no, those guys knew probably every inch of Vince McMahon's history.
They cleared it out before WrestleMania, the biggest show.
That's the thing is like the timing on all of these things happening from starting with just the rapid succession of them. The Rock gets hired on as a board member. A day or so later, all those allegations come to light. A day or so later, Slim Jim pulls out. A day or so later, Vince resigns. Slim Jim's back in Royal Rumble. Like, all of that stuff, like, within the span of a week, that is just way too big of a coincidence for that to not all have some sort of preparation in my mind.
Yes.
Like, there's no way.
Bro, I told you. I've been calling this. Like, bro,
no way, man.
And now they have no obstacles. He has no obstacles in WWE or UFC.
Not really. Well, that's the long story of what fucks up Brock Lesnar's plans. And so here's a couple other things. Small things, but big impacts. Is CM Punk tore his triceps for a second time. Came out at the Royal Rumble. Tore it during the Royal Rumble match. Fucking terrible. His first match back. I mean, I joked a lot about the guy being frail and injury prone. But even I couldn't predict that he was going to get injured in his first televised match. That's fucking tragic, bro. Not to mention, he did follow it up with, once again, an S-tier goddamn promo on Raw that made me all of a sudden feel bad for the guy and be like, CM Punk, I do want you in the main event.
My thing is, like, he's gotten injured, what, 2 out of the last 3 matches he's been in?
Yeah, second triceps, too. Second time his triceps been injured, man. But, so his scheduled match was going to be against Seth Rollins. That was seemingly was the plan for WrestleMania. Seth Rollins, CM Punk, night 1. Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, night 2. Now, this is where things in my mind are, and this is where I'm pulling into speculation station, and I'm kind of not really happy with the idea that I'm coming up with. But putting these pieces together, this very well may be where we're going. I hope I'm wrong. And I hope you tell me I'm wrong.
I think you're wrong.
Oh, thank you. All right, let's start off with
I think you're wrong.
Okay, so with seemingly with Seth without a definitive dance partner at this point, right? And The Rock wanting that big match in WWE or wanting to come back for that big match.
And everyone keeps saying that, but we really haven't heard. Rock has not come out and said that.
Hold on now. I know. But here's what I'm thinking maybe lining up. Maybe this is WWE just fucking with us. Because, you know, they got to drag it out. They cannot let the wrestlers confirm their choices right away. That's part of the build to help kill time for Mania. That's part of the things that keep us tuning in week after week. That's one of the first things is to hear that official announcement, who the Royal Rumble winners will choose to fight at WrestleMania. Well, obviously Bayley was going to choose last night, but it got interrupted by Nia Jax, and so now Bayley's going to choose on SmackDown. Cody Rhodes came out, was going to choose last night. However, Seth Rollins came out, and Seth Rollins essentially pitched Cody to pick him. And he says essentially that the Roman belt is not the true belt because it's the Hollywood belt. It's the one that he never comes and defends, and there's no real honor with that belt, while Seth Rollins is defending like this workhorse belt, the belt that Dusty would really want if both belts were up for grabs while Dusty was around, right? And this seems perplexing, but to me, in my mind, I'm like, oh shit, this is how they get Rock and Roman at WrestleMania, and this is them trying to sell us that it's a better story for Cody to fight Seth now instead. And I'm not into that, man. I'm not into it.
I'm not even going down. I'm not going down the Rock shit. I don't want no part of it. I don't even want to speculate on it.
I think that's what it is, man.
I think that this is just Triple H breadcrumbs.
I hope so. I hope it's just seeds of doubt to tease us.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Is Seth cutting that promo? It's now a double-edged sword, because if Cody denies him, it just further solidifies that belt is the secondary don't give a shit belt in WWE's eyes. But if Cody indulges him, it does prove everything true that Seth said, that Roman's Universal title, the one that we've been coveting for the last like almost 3 years, is the prop belt, is the toy Hollywood belt, especially if now with The Rock potentially coming and fighting for it too. Like it's the joke belt at this point. And then when Roman finally loses, it maybe isn't as significant. You know what I mean? So
fuck all that. Fuck all that bullshit.
I feel like the promo did us a disservice, man.
Fuck all that bullshit. They know what it is. Like, look, Roman's belt is the belt. It's the main belt. It's the belt that matters. It's the belt that has the lineage. And it's because when you beat Roman, you're making fucking history. Doesn't matter about the belt. Fuck the belt. Throw the belt out, whatever. It could be over shoelaces. It could be over like the stick, like with Pretty Kyle when I was watching Progress. Their fucking the heavyweight title was like a stick with a big ass fucking bird on it. It could be whatever you want it to be. It has nothing to do with the title. It's not. The title is a secondary part because of the Dusty shit. But again, no, with all due respect, get fucking Dusty out there. He's gone. R.I.P. This is about Cody. This is about history. This is about Cody being the man in the federation or promotion that he should have been the man in to begin with. It's about his coronation as the guy. And the only way to do that, to me, is to beat Roman. Because Seth always is always going to be second to Roman. It doesn't fucking matter what he does. When you line up the Shield, it's going to be Roman, Seth, Mox, and AEW fucks are going to fucking argue about that. But real life shit, it's Roman, Seth, Mox, and it's always going to be that way. You can switch 2 or 3, but at the end of the day, it's Roman. That's the guy. He's been the guy. They were trying to make him the guy, and then he made himself the guy when he came back. You're not the man there until you beat Roman, and it could be for the title or not. To be what they want Cody to be and what I think Cody wants to be, why he came back, it has to be Roman. It has to be.
No, and I agree with you. I completely agree with you. I worry that they're like in the board meeting and they're like, fuck guys, listen, CM Punk's out, Brock's out. And then they were like, well, maybe we can have Rock now. Like, and just like, maybe, like, we know we couldn't do that before, but.
Until Rock gives us any type of like inclination, like, I just don't, I mean, because everybody keeps saying he wants the big match, blah, blah, blah. But like, he has not once came out and said anything like that. And I think the board move was kind of like the stamp on it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah. I do think that the Rock's plans are for like a Saudi show. It just seems like that's like just the natural progression of it. It is just like the Saudi those Saudi shows are kind of the events that seem to pull people out of retirement now.
Right.
Instead of it being WrestleMania.
That bag that the Saudi prince gives up. That's why.
Yeah. Is that money, and then also it's like non-canon. So even if you claim to like care about like I don't want to interrupt like the show and take away from the talent, they're like, well, this shit's non-canon unless you're Goldberg who beats the Fiend. Everything else is non-canon.
Also, too much is like the board membership. If you were gonna do Roman, why would you announce the board membership before?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you do it after he lost? Like he's done. He's had his last match. He's retiring, and now he's joining the board of TKO.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that would have been perfect way to end the story and cap it off. Like him
Yeah,
being
that
a
would have
part of
been.
the company. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I thought the board member stuff was kind of, to me, the stamping out the fire on that.
Yeah, potentially for sure.
I just refuse to think that that's happening. I don't even want to think about it. I don't want to go down that road. I don't want to speculate it. Like I fucking hate it.
Me out. You're gonna curse me out when they're like, when Cody goes out there and he chooses Seth Rollins.
I'm not, because it makes sense. Like it's perfectly
is Roman open for fucking.
It's perfectly logical that that's what they're going with. But like I said, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to acknowledge it.
What if this? What about this? Let's get real crazy with this shit. What if Cody does go on to face Seth and wins? Roman goes on to face The Rock. Roman wins, and then they have a unification bout at SummerSlam, and that's where Cody really finishes his story.
No, that's not happening, because they want to keep it separate. If there was any like inclination that they were gonna combine everything back together, then that's the way to do it for sure.
Yeah.
But I know Triple H wants it separate. Like I know he wants 2 separate titles. Like it's giving him what he wants, the best of both worlds. He was always the Intercontinental guy, the workhorse champion, making moving. But who's his favorite wrestler of all time? Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Move around. Wrestle in a territory only once in a while. Keep the belt for, you know what I'm saying? Keep it fresh in the territory. Keep it, you know what I'm saying? Like he's getting the best of both worlds that he loves this way. That's why that's why I just,
no, they do make sense. It does just kind of suck that one belt, does have to seem more prestigious than the other. When
once Roman's gone, it won't.
Yeah, but they're both serving different roles. You know what I mean? Like they really are. It just comes from just naturally wrestling rosters are just so fucking big and so full of talent now that like you just naturally need to have all these championships.
But honestly, the SmackDown roster really isn't. And that's another thing we never talk about. Like there is no real like SmackDown roster. There's nobody that's fucking like anywhere close to his level. Like all the stars and all the big players on Raw.
He's already beat them all. He already did it.
I mean, I'm saying like even if he didn't beat them all, I'm saying like there's nobody on Raw. There's nobody on half the roster on SmackDown is nowhere near the tier that the roster on Raw.
Well, that's the thing is Roman's already knocked anybody else. Anybody that could have been has been knocked down by Roman. Like there's nobody.
But all those guys are on Raw now, though. Finn, you know what I'm saying? Like he never really got Bobby because Bobby was on Raw. Bobby just came to SmackDown. You know what I'm saying? All the guys that you're talking about, they're gone.
No, even the SmackDown, the guys on SmackDown.
Name the guys on SmackDown that he's gone against.
LA Knight,
pull up
AJ Styles. He's had a long reign, man. He already beat all 3 of the guys in the Fatal 4-Way. Before they had that Fatal 4-Way. Like that's all of those guys have been beat during his title reign.
I know, but what I'm saying is like whether he beat them or not, those guys are not. They're not somebody that you see as really world champions anyway.
Oh, but that's the thing is I think arguably they could have been had they not decided to make Roman as long of a champion as they have.
No.
Now that Roman is so
you're missing what I'm saying. You're missing what I'm saying.
What?
I'm not saying that I'm not saying that, he beat all them. Yes, I'm saying that if those guys were on Raw, do you see any of them as take the belt, run with it like Seth had?
Oh, to be like the workhorse champion?
Or just to be on Seth's level. Do you really think, do you see any of those guys at that level?
Let me see.
They're all 3 old as shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, no, you can still be old and have, okay, so I think okay, in a perfect world, Montez Ford, but obviously
let's not do hypotheticals. Do like actual.
Okay,
single
then the closest one would be Bobby Lashley.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like, Bobby Lashley. I mean, I shouldn't even say close. No, Bobby Lashley could.
Yeah, he's the only one that's been a champ in the last fucking 2 or 3 years.
Pretty much. No, you're not. Like, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That was Seth's belt.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. No, I know what you're saying. Like, yeah, he has to eliminate all those guys, but I'm saying even if Roman wasn't there, none of those guys are. To me, none of those guys are top guys except for fucking Bobby.
I think LA Knight is. I think
LA Knight's popular. I don't think he's.
Well, no. I don't think he has like the staying power. I feel like he's a guy that can burn, like who can burn really, really hot. But you'll get like a year or so out of the guy, That's what
I'm saying. I don't think any of those guys are elite, top level guys. Even Randy, to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I think I think out of everybody, Bobby Lashley. I think Bobby Lashley could. That's it. That is it.
Look at the world champions on Raw, or the guys that have been at the top of the card on Raw. Then look at the guys in SmackDown.
Yeah, no, I see.
What I'm saying? Like, It's not. I'm saying take Roman completely out.
No, Raw really is extremely top heavy. Now that you say it, Raw is very much top heavy because, I mean, look at the guys that ain't even there. I mean, Braun Strowman's technically on the roster. We'll see if what happens to him whenever he comes back.
Right.
But yeah, you're right. You got Drew. You got Gunther, who is just waiting to fucking.
Drew, Gunther, Cody, Damian Priest, technically just because he's the Money in the Bank guy. Finn, like Sammy, that we still never got. That's waiting to get a rocket strapped to his back and be a champ. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, there's guys on Raw that
Nakamura. In a perfect world.
Honestly, I don't think so. But I mean, I might be mad if you threw him in. You know what I'm saying? Like, the stars are on Raw.
Yeah. Oh, you're not wrong there too.
Nobody on SmackDown can carry a show for more than 3 or 4 months but Bobby. Yeah.
Well, I will tell you one thing that we didn't get to touch on because this is pretty much just wrapping up. But on a minor Raw update, I am very excited by what is potentially coming on Raw here in the near future. And that's how R-Truth was just ceremoniously, I guess, beat out of Judgment Day, even though he was never in.
JD beat the fuck out of that fucking first blow. Jesus.
And who came to his rescue?
Awesome Truth, bro. Let's get it.
Awesome Truth. And instantly are now the most intriguing tag team matchup for those belts. I think Truth and Miz are going to fucking get those belts.
I'm not mad at it because they were an actual tag team. And that's all I want is real tag teams. Like, that's like, I'm not really like hype on DIY or anything, but like real tag teams, not just dudes like he beat you up, he beat me up. Let's be a team. Like, no, let's get some real tag teams.
RN, how did this happen? Out of nowhere, you have R-Truth instantly just come back. Like R-Truth it's amazing how R-Truth
does this every like 5 to 10 years though.
He can just do this at will, Ben. He wins people's hearts over. Is what it is. He's just
literally
seems so
every 5 years
innocent.
We forget about the 24/7 run. Then right before that was the run with Carmella before they got the 24/7 title.
Yeah.
Then he went away for a little bit. Then the shit with Cena, like the stuff with Taker, and then we made Taker fucking laugh and shit and everything. Like, or no, Taker Brock.
And
what I'm saying? Like, he comes with something.
And they've got the Miz oddly enough warmed up as a babyface, working for the first time. I don't know, like I think ever as a babyface, and people are behind it because of his saga with Gunther. Oh man, this is amazing! I'm telling you, I couldn't take the smile off my face when it dawned on me. I was like, oh my god, I think the Miz and R-Truth might fucking get those tag titles. When
they did the swag surf, I was like, oh my god, are we really gonna get this?
We're gonna get it back, man.
No, don't hit Dominic.
Yeah. Oh, we're getting it back. This is gonna be great. We're gonna do. That's gonna do it for tonight's show, man. It was fun. It's a little disjointed. The Royal Rumble was a fun one. If you haven't seen it, go watch the Women's Rumble. The rest is pretty fun too. But the Women's Rumble is a must.
Facts.
Raw was also good. I mean, WWE is just hot right now, dude. WWE is just fucking just really hot. Yeah, and that makes me hopeful for AEW, which we're gonna talk about more in the coming weeks. It's just it's Royal Rumble week, dude. It's all WWE shit right now.
Yeah.
Oh man, RN, what do you got going on with the litter? We were talking like you have some really awesome pictures on your Facebook of some of your litter, dude. If you guys haven't seen it.
No, that's my stud. That's Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, your stud. Excuse me.
Yeah, these we got puppies too. We got 3 pups available if anybody's interested. We got a bully pup and 2 Frenchies. 2 fluffy Frenchies actually. Hit me up if you guys want to check them out. But yeah, no, that was our stud Edward Scissorhands. You want to chop them fluffies in half, come get the juice from him.
Hell yeah. Also, I don't know if you guys are if there's anybody that's into photography out there, but that's something that I've been doing on the side. Check out my personal Facebook page, and check out some of the work I've done, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Thinking about including some of it on the show in the near future, but yeah. And then lastly, of course, like we always say, like closing out the shows, man. If you're struggling with mental health and addiction problems, don't keep that shit to yourself. You'll suffer in silence is just not the way to go. Reach out to those around you. Reach out to us. Fucking talk to us, man.
We're here for you.
Yeah, man. By this time next week, I'll have hit 2 years, man. 2 years sober.
Hell yeah. What day is it?
It's the 2nd, so I think that's Friday.
Yep.
Yeah, Friday will be 2 years for me, which at this point, I mean, hey, listen, I'm very grateful. It doesn't, I don't get like emotional about it too much anymore. Now I feel like I've just fallen into that role of just like I don't drink now, which is
same.
good.
After I hit the year mark, that's the same thing. I was like,
that was the goal. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just to get to that mentality where it doesn't work me up anymore, and that feels good. And also, if you guys are struggling, know that it's not that far off, Ben. It's not that far off till you can turn that stuff around, and it's not part of your daily life anymore. You know what I mean? Obviously, we all got shit we got to work through, but at the end of the day, it lets up. It lets up, and you can focus on the other.
Always
shit.
light at the end of the tunnel.
Exactly. All right. I'll stop talking all the ears off, man. Y'all have a good week. We'll catch you next Tuesday.
See y'all next week.